Welcome to CHS Vinsider, where we talk about everything within the CHS College. So our guest speaker today is Daria. So Daria, could you please introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Daria. I'm from Russia and I'm a first year nursing student.
Mm. Okay, so the first question is, if you can compare yourself, compare the experience you have at VinUni with an ice cream flavor, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Well, I think I would say that VinUni is like blueberry sorbet. Oh,
Why?
yeah, that's interesting flavor. Not something you think first, then you hear the word ice cream, right?
Mm.
I think it's very important to acknowledge that VinUni is not a first choice for every student who is studying here. And it's not something bad. It's just the fact that not every student who, like high schooler, think, oh, I will end up at VinUni at the end. But when we do, we all have the same experience. We all very grateful for that. Maybe it was not our, maybe it's not how we saw our future, but I think it's the turn for the better. So we all very grateful for being here. And as Bluebird Sorbet, it surprises us like every time.
Yeah, so moving from Russia to VinUni is such a milestone. Could you compare the cultural differences and the curriculum?
Well, if we just talking about cultural differences first, I would say that I didn't notice something that would like shock me completely, or make me in any way, I don't know, surprise or stumble. But I would say Vietnam culture is more non-confrontational than Russian. Russians are much more straightforward, and this is what sometimes I still struggle with, even like being here already for 6 months. That sometimes I'm too straightforward, and it can seem rude, but this is just a part of my culture. And especially then, I just like first month I was making friends, and all my friends they always wanted like the best for me. So we go to some cafe, and I say that, okay, let's choose, and they say, oh, just you choose, and then I choose, and some of them can be sad, but they would never express that they would don't want to go there while we are like in this process of choosing. So this is something that can be a little unpredictable for
Mm-hmm.
me as a person, coming from the culture where we express our especially negative emotions. We're so straightforward about our negative emotions. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that like the not confrontational culture in Vietnam would make it hard for you to be a nurse?
I don't think so. I think it's the job of a nurse to be confrontational. And not in the fact that you need to argue with someone, but one of the main aspects of nursing is advocating for the patients.
Mm.
And I do think that if you're non confrontational, it would be really, really hard for you and you would not be great in your job. Because in this case, right, when we're in a healthcare setting, we're talking about not just caring for like a person as a client, but also as a patient, as a human being, right? Sometimes you hold the life in your hands. And if you don't advocate for your patient just because you're too shy or you don't want to make a doctor uncomfortable, then I don't think you will be a great nurse. Maybe that's a very like a blunt statement, but I think you people need to hear that just working in healthcare requires a big passion for advocating for people and being able um, to vocalize your opinions and and say them loud
Mm.
and proud.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like we have to really be straightforward, but like not that tough, but still have to. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think any healthcare profession includes like the building of communication between the patient and or not just the patient, just the person who is visiting a healthcare facility or outside of it. We always need to build communication, and it's not just that we straightforward during any time like the process, but it's just more about like I'm talking about the aspect. Then there's some issue, and
Mm.
if we have faced some issue or problem in the healthcare, we need to be loud and maybe sometimes a little bit rude
Yeah.
to like get rid of the issue. But of course, if we communicate with the patient, it's just the other thing.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, true. So about the curriculum, what are the differences?
Well, The Russian in Russian universities, I think our curriculum is much more like a lecture based, and you just come to the classes and you listen what professors are talking about. There's no part of discussion, or if there is, it's like very, it's not a big one. And also I was very surprised by the amount of group projects we have here. And actually I asked my Vietnamese friends, like, did you have school projects at your high school? And all of them say, oh yeah, but in Russia we don't really have group projects that much.
Wow.
We like, as I remember in my high school I had like 1 year, like my last year of high school, I had like two maybe maximum group projects. So that's a quite of a new experience for me.
But which one do you prefer, like group project or individual assignments?
I think it's so different. I cannot say that I prefer one of them. They are just a different kind of assignments, apply to different like tasks. So I'm fine with all.
Okay. And besides the CHS College, I also noticed that you take minor in business, right?
Yeah, I'm taking some courses in business. I took introduction to business management last semester, and I'm taking marketing this semester.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it and like about the opportunity to take in minors while being a nursing student?
Well, I really value it because I always loved the idea of the liberal arts education. VinUni is not a total liberal arts school, but anyway, the opportunity to take classes beyond like your field is very important, not just for the fact that it can broaden opportunities in your career, right? But I think also just to be able to discover your interest and to know where you can like go further in your career and just in life, because businesses really interest me, and also my family has a business, so I see that as an opportunity to study business and maybe being able to help them in the future.
Yeah, true. And what do you think about business at VinUni?
Like business major.
Not minor, I mean, like the
Oh,
quality
minor.
of the courses and
Oh,
lecture.
okay. I really love business courses. Well, because I take like just just one per semester, I do understand that like my knowledge in business is not as great as business students, and I can feel that. So if you're gonna be like a business student, I think you're gonna go in deeper in this field much deeper. But anyway, I think the courses are incredible because I think it's teach you not just the theory but also the implication, and especially I think it's, I don't know, I didn't take every course in business, right? But from my experience already I can say that this implication, like this practice, it's happening right after like the theory. So for example, in one lecture we study theory and it's same lecture we practice. So we don't need to wait for practice like half of the year or
Yeah.
anything. It's like immediate practice, so your knowledge like gets applied into the practice and you memorize it much better.
And I also like the fact that it's approachable for even students in MD or nursing to take it. Like we can understand the lecture, not just like going theory and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And like how do you think how can we combine nursing with business? How would you do it?
So the uni specifically has a minor in healthcare management. So right, the hospitals and any healthcare facilities, they have not only like nurses and doctors, but they also have like head nurses. They have the head of the hospital and all other like managerial positions. And you need to have some knowledge to be able to pursue this position, right? Because just knowledge in the healthcare will not, I think, allow you to do that, because you need some expertise in the field of management, because hospital it includes a lot of stuff, and being able to control all of this and facilitate all of this um, it requires some expertise in the field. But I would say that if we're talking about healthcare management, usually all the heads of all hospitals, they are either like ex-doctors or even practicing doctors, or ex-nurses practicing nurses. So I think healthcare management is a great like a minor for people from our field who wants to do their practice maybe and start with practicing healthcare directly, and then going into a managerial position, being able to run such a big thing as a hospital, or even maybe beyond, maybe go into some startup or like any healthcare startup, or maybe some big company connected to healthcare.
Yeah, true. Like going multidisciplinary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you balance your time? Because I know, like nursing, you have to take anatomy tests every week.
Um, well, I don't. I cannot say that I have a big issues with like managing my time, even though I'm such a chaotic person. I have no schedule. Like I have big issues with time management, but somehow like I still manage it. Like just pull up all nighter before the final.
Wow.
But it's not a great strategy. I don't
Mhm.
say that. You need to do that. Don't do that. It's I think not good for your sleep schedule. Like
Yeah.
my sleep schedule was so damaged at the finals period that later I would go to sleep naturally. I would go to sleep at 12 a.m. like not p.m. but not a.m. 12 p.m. right, and I will wake up at 6 p.m. and it will be my sleep time, and it was so bad. So now I try to study beforehand a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but I cannot say that this is the something that's I'm doing because of my like this problem I had it not because of my major but because of my personality. So I would say because I have my friends like right who studied nursing at the same year as I do, and they are much better in time management, so and they don't suffer. So maybe I think you need to start implying it as early as you can. So if you're in high school, start doing it, because it's so hard to learn how to do time management when you get like older.
Yeah. What do you think about the workload of nursing students?
Well, I'm just a first year nursing student, so I cannot talk about like upper cohorts. But I think the workload is quite manageable. I think it's very depends on your workload, like in high school. For example, was your workload in high school? That's the same level as VinUni. So, for example, in my high school, I had a workload that was in sometimes higher than in VinUni, more challenging than in VinUni. So I would say that for me, it's not an issue. But maybe for the people who haven't experienced that workload in high school, it can be at first at least somehow alerting maybe, but I think it's you can adjust pretty fast to it.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite subject?
Well, I really love marketing because I
Me
really love
too.
our professor.
Yeah.
She is incredible. She explains everything so in such a simple way, but also I really love her approach to teaching. Like, no laptops in class, practical like tasks every lecture. So I really love marketing, and I think it's very interesting. I must say that I love anatomy because I think it's just very interesting for me to deeper my knowledge in the physiology and anatomy of the human beings, and especially considering the fact that like I already had some knowledge prior to it, so I see it as opportunity to like develop my body of knowledge, and it can be very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you do you want to do research about anatomy or stuff, or you just really want to learn about the philosophy of, I mean, the physiology of anatomy?
I'm not sure about the research. Well, when I was in Russia, I done a research in the neurophysiology. I studied like the physiology of endocannabinoids transmitters, neurotransmitters. Now I'm not doing any research, but I really want to start. I'm not sure if I want to do research in physiology. I have some other interests connected like to biology and connected just beyond biology. I'm very interested in like the colonial sciences. So, and I know that in VinUni, if I want to do research about like this, I can go to any professor in CAS, not connected to my major, not connected to my minor, and do the research with them. Yeah.
Yeah, true. I think that's wrap up today's podcast. So thank you for talking and sharing your opinions.
Thank you for having me, and everyone have a great time. Thank you for listening to us.